This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Welcome to NDTV Hindu. I'm Kuku Alex and I bring you your Bill of Rights. This show is for all of you who feel strongly about your rights as a consumer. This is where you can catch reports, stories and discussions with consumer activists which will not just voice your concerns but answer queries plaguing your mind. Let's take a look at the problems that can arise when buying a high-end cell phone. We tell you what you could do to avoid them. And if you are all for family planning but have reservations about the safety of a medical procedure that you might want to undergo, our expert advises you about a safe course of action. All that only on Bill of Rights. A wonderful start to the new year would have been to wish your near and dear ones exactly at midnight. Now imagine taking up that cell phone, but just as the call gets connected, your cell phone lets you down. Yes, that very mobile that you bought for all its latest features. Here's the case study of what this particular customer did when the dealer refused to replace a faulty instrument. Our reporter Bertla brings you the story of a man who knocked on the doors of the consumer court when his mobile phone failed to work even after repeated repairs.
When he bought his cell phone, Srinivasan almost did a jig. After all, he had a branded model and he had bought it from a popular mobile store. What could go wrong? Well, everything did from the word go. He took it back for service, hoping the faults would be rectified. When it was returned, new problems cropped up. After 3 rounds of problems, he simply asked the shop to replace his set. The shop refused, and the instrument continued to be more a problem than a convenience. Frustrated, Srinivasan approached the consumer forum.
It held that the opposite party should give a new mobile phone worth of 8,000 and odd, and sum of rupees 2,000 for the mental agony and 1,000 rupees as cost.
Often, it is easy to be swayed by appealing ads on latest versions of the mobile phone and attractive discount offers. But don't forget the ground rule, to check a product fully. And since no one will tell you about service clauses, it is advisable to do a bit of research on the nature of service a shop offers in the event of set malfunctions.
Yeah, nowadays everyone is going for a smartphones. So before buying, they should confirm that what all the features they needed, and before purchasing, they should confirm whether the features are available in that phone. And the smartphones are now available at more cost, more than 10,000, 7,000, 8,000. In that cases, the sellers should provide after sales and services. When the complainant approaches them stating that the phone specific feature has not been functioning, it has to be rectified.
With so many models in the market and shops offering competitive prices, in a bid to outsell one another, it appears that the jargon "customer is king" is rarely put into practice. Consumers have no choice but to ensure the quality of the product and the service class to avoid being cheated. In Chennai, Bertla, NDTV Hindu.
Tune into a consumer activist telling you about the various steps that you could take to avoid facing similar problems.
Tell us, is it better to buy the mobile from a manufacturer or is it better to buy it from a dealer? Which is actually a better option for us?
From the manufacturer is a safe bet because you can hold him responsible for any defect or deficiency immediately on coming to know of it, provided the defect is known to you within warranty on the first place. And even after warranty, if it is defective, we can take it out to him and spell out your difficulties where reasonable care should be taken by the manufacturer to rectify it. A soft attitude towards the customer who has parted with the huge sums of money for buying a mobile.
Right, so but is it that easy to access the manufacturer? Often it's the dealer who's easily available at hand.
See, the dealer always fakes what the manufacturer gives. In majority cases, what the original product is always tampered with by the dealer in many cases, because we have filed so many cases for the consumer court. Like the leading dealers, I don't want to name them specifically, leading dealers, though they promote so many sales campaigns, the product turns out to be defective in a jiffy. Days of purchase, within days of purchase the product turns out defective. When you take it out to the manufacturer is able to identify the problem because there is some internal tampering done. And also one more thing, the customer also should be very careful while handling his precious and costly equipment.
That's agreed. But then if you see, what exactly do you think is the responsibility of the dealer at this point of time, considering the fact that if he knows what he's selling and the consumer is actually trusting the dealer and buying it?
See, when the dealer sells it, he washes his hands off immediately after giving you all the basic things, like he doesn't even, some of the dealers have the temerity not even stamp the guarantee card. They sell it because their job is to make a profit and they walk off. They say anything and everything. If it's an initial hiccup, they rectify it, like changing of covers and things like that. Otherwise, if it's anything else, they point their fingers coolly to the manufacturer, and they don't inform the manufacturer if they take possession of the mobile also. In many cases, the manufacturer is given a phone much after the rot had set in, after keeping it for so many days or weeks together. Then the dealer informs the manufacturer because the client is at his neck. At the juncture, if something could be set right immediately, time lapse costs the replacement of the machine.
So don't you think the manufacturers have to be a little more alert when they choose their dealers or their agency?
Or is there something that can be done to make sure that the dealer does talk to the manufacturer?
See, various dealers, there are popular dealers all over India for various articles. They all go by brand names. Okay, for example, like Universal, Wavetel, or this thing, Purvika, all these are dealers who deal with major brand names, but their performance are always sticky. In many cases, if you come to the consumer court, Purvika has been nailed, every other alternative company has been nailed because of their very lackadaisical performance. Universal is one thing, they do not even come to the court and attend a complaint. That is one thing. And in 5 cases where the manufacturer comes, they defend, and the dealer keeps quiet because he says, my job is over by the sale, it is your headache, you deal with it, and he tells the customer, do whatever you want. It is having no regard for the customer or its value of money given.
So one more thing that I have noticed a lot is that if you go to a dealer for any of the instrumental repairs, it's quite cheap. But if you go to the manufacturer, they charge double. That's one of the reasons where I have seen a lot of people focus and go to dealers rather than manufacturers.
See, the dealer does a peripheral service, whereas the manufacturer would give you suggest a replacement, and if it is within warranty, there are certain parts which are covered under warranty, he is bound to replace them free of cost. Even a motherboard can be changed if the motherboard becomes defective during the period of warranty, but majority times, like the dealer keeping it away, and see, warranty for a cell phone is hardly 6 months to 1 year. Majority people after misuse, see, the customer is also prone to misuse, he does not, he is reckless in his usage, and such a problem arises, he immediately notifies the dealer, and if the dealer stalls it, take it to the manufacturer, take the phone back and take it to the nearest dealer, manufacturer, and bring it to his attention.
If you see in this case, in the story that we saw just now, the dealer actually refused to replace the model.
That is adamancy. See,
so
the problem is,
be done at that point
this kind of adamancy, the court should reprimand them and punish them heavily, so that it will be a deterrent lesson for all the dealers. Though they promote by large scale advertisements and they make huge profits, they should be taught a very good lesson. The system should be much more stringent in penalizing them, so that dealers cannot take culpable or gullible buyers to a ride.
Time for a quick break on Bill of Rights, but on the other side, we bring you a report on how the financial assistance that one customer took only ended up giving more trouble. Stay with us.